Welcome, Gemini. It is Sachi, and we are here to do your guided healing, where we are going to take a look at what is going on currently in your healing journey, what is keeping you stuck, or any sort of hurdles that are in your way, how to get you unstuck or how to overcome those hurdles, and then some general advice on healing for your journey. So let's hop into it, Gemini. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. Tower in reverse, Lovers in reverse with the King of Pentacles. So wow, already pretty big energy coming out. So I actually really like that the Tower and the Lovers were coming out in reverse, because with the Tower here in this deck specifically, it represents a Tower moment that already happened, and it's someone who stays in there and like goes insane. So it seems like this Tower moment in the past, you have decided, okay, I'm not staying somewhere where things have already basically crumbled, right? It's like the situation is already terrible. Like, why would you want to stay in the rubble of it? So I really like that you decided to leave. With the Lovers in reverse, it seems like even if you loved someone or felt like you loved someone, you know, you decided to, again, still leave. And with the Lovers here, like in this deck, it specifically points out someone who pretends to be her lover, but is actually like a spirit and like whisks her away. So there's a lot of like deception in this Lovers card. So with that in reverse, I love to see this Lovers card specifically in reverse, because it basically says you did not get swept away in, you know, in a fantasy, or get, you know, taken for a ride that you didn't agree to, basically. Because yeah, you are not allowing yourself to sort of stay in this Tower moment. The King of Pentacles, though, it's interesting. I always take the King of Pentacles as being a little bit overly attached. So there still can be parts of you that might be trying to sort of take you towards this Tower moment or something, because we do see the Reapers like looking for him, but he's defying this transition, we'll say, because he's holding on to the material. So it definitely talks about perseverance and physical strength in this King of Pentacles specifically. With Shellos using Rain Splash here, again, it's like Rain Splash in reverse. You did not let your emotions, even if you loved someone or whatever it is, sweep you away. Shellos, this is also one of my cards of like partnership and things like that. As you can see, there's like two different Shellos from different regions. And then we have Palkia using Absolute Space. So again, it seems like you are getting your absolute space from this situation. Even if there can be some things trying to pull you back, even if there are still emotions about the situation, you are giving yourself the space that you need. And especially emotional space, but also physical space, because these are both water types, which represent a lot of emotion stuff coming out. And Palkia, not only is he hollow, he's also a mythical, and it's basically the god of space, or the entity of space, the deity of space, we'll say. And it's called the spatial Pokemon. So again, there's something that has a lot to do with space here. And I just finished Capricorn's reading, and Palkia also came out for Capricorn. So if you have Capricorn placements, I recommend that you check out that reading, no matter what it is. So let's say you have Jupiter and Capricorn, right? Maybe Jupiter's trying to reach you. So I would recommend that. So anyway, Gemini, I hope that you are doing well. Again, we're going to see where you are in your healing journey, what the, you know, any hurdle or whatever's going on that's, you know, blocking you from moving forward. And then we're going to see how to get you unstuck, and then some general advice on your healing journey. So let's see, Gemini, what is going on? I heard like, what's going on? It's funny because like I just did Capricorn's energy. Like I said, I cleared it and did yours. You feel very much more high vibrational. And that's not a slight on Capricorn. They're just moving through some very dense stuff. But so with Five of Cups in reverse, yeah, you are letting go of sadness, disappointment, any sort of situation where someone did you wrong. In this deck specifically, it's a guy who he's he's engaged to his sweetheart, you know, the love of his life and stuff like that. He gets lost on this business trip, stops at this mansion, and, you know, gets swindled basically by the innkeeper to marry the innkeeper's daughter. Whether he's being a people pleaser or, you know, he allows himself to be under a spell or whatever it is, only to find out when he marries her, she's actually like a ghost. And so, you know, again, there's this deception aspect. And in reverse, again, you will not be deceived. You will not deal with anyone who does not do right by you. So I definitely love that. I mean, Five of Cups is still coming out. So again, there's no, right, we saw Tower in reverse. There's no denying a Tower moment happened. There's no denying that there was some sadness and disappointment. But it's like, you're over it, pretty much. You're over it. Let's see, what's the light energy? I was hearing like there could still be some emotions that need to get out of your body, but like it might be in your physical body, but it's not really in your emotional body. And it feels like some of it needs to actually be pulled out of your physical body and let go emotionally. And it's funny, my shoulder just cracked, my right shoulder, which is like controlling, either being controlled by others or wanting to control others. It's the masculine energy of that. So let's see. Yeah, water energy. So again, you are definitely, it feels good emotionally. It's like you're not denying any emotional situation that has happened in the past, but it's like you will not let anyone make you feel bad. That's what it feels like. Let's see what's the shadow here. Wanted to hit that Five of Cups. We have wing flick. Yeah, and it hit that. It's like anyone who tries to bring you that Five of Cups energy, deception, sadness, you know, trying to control you or whatever it is. It's like, you're just like, boop, flick that ish off. With Dartrix here, Dartrix is Owl Spirit. Owl Spirit represents wisdom. So you have gotten to this point of emotional wisdom where you are able to, again, like, it's like they're little gnats. You're just able to like, boop, and just get rid of these people who try to bring you this nasty emotional energy. It says, this narcissistic Pokemon is a clean freak. If you don't groom it diligently, it will stop listening to you. Yeah, again, you have dealt with some narcissists in the past. Again, people who brought you sadness, disappointment, did not do right by you, deception, all this sorts of stuff. And now it's just like, boop, you flick it away. Because again, you're not letting it in your heart chakra. You know, and with this as well, emotional energy, this is also the throat chakra. So you may be very vocal about things in order to prevent, again, anyone trying to deceive you or, you know, not do right by you and so on. So it looks like, yeah, you're in a pretty good spot in your healing journey. Let's see what any issues or blockages that's going on. It's so interesting. I was hearing, it's the same thing I heard for Capricorn. It's a distortion. So let's see what the distortion is. The Moon, the High Priestess, Temperance in reverse, and the Hermit. Interesting. Wow. I mean, 4 major arcanas. Wow, Gemini, you are really, wow. Well, okay, so the moon represents, like, sort of, it can be a lunar distortion. So, you know, can be a moon thing. But the moon represents, like, going down into the subconscious and understanding. And this specifically, it's a journey to the center of the world, or the center of the earth. So there can be this energy of, like, understanding sort of what lies beneath, okay? And with the High Priestess here, there can be some intuitive things that are being a bit distorted based on a lunar principle here. And, you know, looking here, it's like she's looking into the solar plexus. So there can be some distortions based on sort of deep subliminal or subconscious emotional programs where when you look into someone else's like willpower or ego, there can be a distortion about something. Specifically because Temperance here, Temperance in reverse, there can be some, you know, Temperance literally means absence of alcohol. So it could be some substance stuff that also came up for Capricorn. But Temperance in reverse can mean, again, sort of going to extremes. Like maybe you're doing a lot of sort of deep, you know, inner work rather than balancing it with the light. Because we do have the Hermit, which is all about, you know, finding the light in the darkness. The Moon is about finding the light in the darkness. A lot of them have to do with very much being inner, you know, in the inner work. And when Temperance comes out in reverse, it's like you're not necessarily tempering your spirit. You may find it hard to sort of take the middle road or take the, an approach that is, tempered, right? Not to one extreme or the other. And with the Hermit card, it's very interesting because, again, like the Moon, High Priestess, and Hermit together definitely gives me like deep spiritual work by yourself. So that can also be a distortion of like thinking that you have to be on your own while you're doing this and thinking that you have to go deeper. And yeah, let's just see. Okay. Yeah, again, it's like, it feels like there's something about a deep emotional program of you looking into other people's egos or sense of self. And again, that can also be part of a narcissistic program, if that makes sense. Let's see, what's the light energy? Okay, yeah, we have Plusle, Positive Hand, and Explode, Heavy Impact. So Plusle with Positive Hand here, this, again, solar plexus, that's what she's looking into. So a lot of, you know, a lot of the light energy is only emanating from the solar plexus. So a lot of light is coming from the ego stories, the willpower, the sense of self. With Positive Hand, again, it seems like there can be this energy of like, oh, maybe they're thinking that they're helping here. Let's see, it says it cheers on friends with pom-poms made of sparks. It drains power from telephone poles. So it's talking about cheering on friends and, you know, draining power from telephone poles, which I always take as like, you know, people that you're texting with or communicating with online or something like that. So there can be some, you know, the distortion coming from, you know, lunar programs, could even be a High Priestess perhaps that you're working with that's saying, you know, keep to yourself. And again, it's an inability to take a tempered approach in this regard, because with Explode, Heavy Impact, Explode is like when you explode, right? And again, it's like if you're only cheerful, if you're only doing this of cheering on friends, right? But again, there is this aspect of like doing a lot of stuff alone too. It's a very typical Gemini, right? It's like there's two different things here that are kind of equal and opposite. But this explosion seemed to make a heavy impact. So whatever this like yelling situation was of someone who exploded, it really did make an impact on whatever this is. It says its roar in battle shakes the ground like a tremor or like an earthquake has struck. So that's like that's a big deal, right? So part of this distortion is the way things are being spoken that are causing sort of like a cataclysmic event. Let's see what's the shadow here. And the Hermit in this deck specifically also points to, like, usually the Hermit, right, it's like you're alone. Usually it shows like a monk or something, you know, on the top of a hill by themselves. In this deck, it represents like, yeah, she's alone, but actually she's not. If you look closer in the card, she's connected to all these sort of nature spirits. So a lot of it can be the distortions based on perhaps some nature spirits who may be a bit nefarious even, because we are getting like natural disaster energy. So let's see, coming out in the shadow, coming out stuck is Drampa using Outrage and Dragon Pulse. So Drampa, you know, it's a normal type card, but it is a dragon, which does represent, you know, denser energy. But when it's normal card, I always take it as like communication stuff that's coming out. And Drampa can be some lineage stuff. It can be a grandpa or a grandma or something like that. Because with here, there is outrage. So again, there's explosion energy, there's outrage energy, and there's dragon pulse. So again, it's like dragon energy can cause, you know, typically on a high vibrational energy, it helps clear very dense energy. But also dragons can be utilized to create things like, you know, earthquakes and so on. So let's see. It says this Pokemon is friendly to people and loves children most of all. It comes from deep in the mountain to play with children that it likes in town. And it's called the Placid Pokemon. So it's talking about being friendly to people that it likes, right? It loves children most of all. So it definitely gives this energy of like, you know, it's, again, it's like, how do I want to put this? There is a lot about other people, right? We have cheering on friends and, you know, loving people and children most of all and wanting to like play with kids and things like that. But there is also this energy of like looking within and being in isolation. It's such a juxtaposition. I can't quite put my finger on it yet. Let's see. Let's see. All right, yeah. Meditate and contemplate. Let me... Oh, and there's an alarm. Yeah, there's this energy of like, gosh, how do I want to put it? It's a distortion based on like only feeling like you fit in a certain place or something like that. Let's see. What's the lunar distortion? Give us more information, please. Okay, there's 2. You're very close to achieving your goal and coming out stuck. Your dreams need a practical plan. So there can be this energy of the lunar distortion of, again, of like, yeah, being very close, but also needing a plan, right? So there is this energy of like, how do I want to put this? It is very difficult to understand these messages. So it's kind of like this energy of like, okay, so part of it is like feeling as though you're super, super close to what it is that you want to achieve here. And again, it's like, right, you're a community, right? Let's use that as an example. People that you want to cheer on, you know, maybe having children or whatever, but like people who are going to, that you actually want to be around, right? Your soul community. So it's like you feel like you're really close, but also you feel like you have to actually have a physical plan, a sort of like a stepwise thing. And again, it's kind of this juxtaposition of like I need to be alone, but I like people. Yeah, it's like I need to be alone, but I like being around people. But I need to be alone, but I also need to be around people. Again, it's like either you need a plan or you're really close. I mean, you can still be close and also need a plan, but there's some, yeah, I feel like the distortion are things that are opposite are true. And that is actually an intellectual feat that Gemini has. They can understand and believe and understand 2 opposing things to be true that typically people would say are mutually exclusive. But for a Gemini mind, they don't have to be. Even if to everyone else they may be contradictory. But it seems like these type of things are actually what the distortion and the blockage is in your healing. Okay? Obviously, we are going to look deeper into this. Let's see. All right. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Whew, things are kind of getting a little topsy-turvy over here, huh? Well, I did have a shadow. My shadow deck wanted to fall, so let's just see. Okay, we'll do that second. Let's see. Let's bring some light in. Like I said in the extended, we'll see a little bit more into this and how to overcome it. Hopefully you have a little, like, again, it's very hard, even though I'm Gemini rising, it's very difficult for me to pinpoint exactly what this is. But let's see. We'll look into how to overcome it, and then we'll get some general energy on healing it. We have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold, and then sisterhood of the rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. Again, that's the energy, is like you are going through a rite of passage where once you cross this threshold, you are going to be part of a, you know, a group. And again, it's like, that's part of the distortion. It's like, I'm going to be alone until I find my soul community or something like that. But it's like, if you stay alone, you're never going to find them. You know what I mean? It's like you have to actually go out there and do something. And maybe, you know, you spend a lot of time with kids if you have kids, or maybe, you know, you only feel like you relate to children because they're fun and whimsical, and so are you, and things like that. But again, it's a lunar distortion of your own solar plexus, your own sense of self, that makes you feel like you have to be alone. Like you can only, you know, it's like, I'd rather be out in nature, you know, by myself and things like that. And maybe the only friends that you actually have are like online or something like that. Okay. I'm starting to understand this more, Gemini. Thanks for the Gemini. It's a Mercury retrograde situation, but yes, we did have these come out. I just did a couple, maybe 30 seconds after, but yeah, it's like, you know, maybe you feel like you only belong in nature or around children or something like that, and it's just simply not true. There are other people that you are meant to connect with in order for you to accomplish what it is that you're supposed to accomplish. And again, that is what's necessary in order for you to cross this threshold. We also took a look in the Black Mirror, and it was sacrifice. So there are going to be things that you need to give up. You need to give up some beliefs about yourself, belief systems and thoughts. And again, it's a solar plexus distortion that is coming through the moon. So it's like your emotion, the way that you feel, you're taking it as your sense of self. And yeah, so if you would like to head into the extended, we are going to take a look into what we can do to clear this distortion. Very interesting. I already recorded it before I realized that this cut off. And then we will look into some general energy on, you know, healing through this situation. So if you would like to follow me there, the link is in the description box below, and it is available for Eagle and Phoenix members only on my website. So if you would like to sign up, you can go to plans and subscriptions on my website. And again, the link is in the description, and I hope to see you there.